Hello everyone, my name is Jason Parker and welcome back to this channel about magic. By the way, if you would like to learn some magic tricks yourself and learn them from yours truly, I've been making free magic tutorials on this YouTube channel. If you go to the homepage, check the playlists tab, you will see what I'm talking about. And alternatively, for those of you who want to support me, I've been putting more and more magic tutorials and behind the scenes life updates on my Patreon. It's easy to find. Go to Google and type Jason Parker Patreon. You can check it out and decide if it's for you. And as a cherry on top, you'll be helping support me in my constant struggle and fight against demonetization. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into the reaction. Today we're taking a look at Eric Chien, who is making his first appearance on Fool Us, Season 7, the extension. You probably already know Eric Chien. He won Asia's Got Talent, and he was also on America's Got Talent, getting to the semifinals. In fact, actually, I'm curious. Leave a comment below. Have you heard of Eric Chien before? Have you seen him perform? Apparently on this episode, he will be performing his same ribbon act that you may have seen before, the same one he used to win FISM. I'm not sure if it'll be the exact same performance or if he's made any changes, but I'm curious to find out. And I'm curious to hear what Penn and Teller have got to say. Surely they must have already seen his act before, so let's just get into it.
Hey guys, I am Eric Chien, and I am a close-up magician from China.
You can't take anything personal like cards with you into the army. So when I got drafted, I made magic with ordinary objects like rubber bands and coins.
Coin magic got me a job as a magic consultant. I created effects for other magicians. But my dream was to perform. So I started creating tricks for myself, and I quit making magic for others. I put my life saving into one single effect, something totally unique. It is an effect that I'll be doing tonight, and it won at the World Championship of Magic. But I don't perform it like I'm a champion. My stage character isn't even a magician. I'm an average dude who can make magic almost by accident. I'm saying if I can do this, then you can too. There's magic in me, so there must be magic in you.
Yeah, it kind of seems like the same background story we heard before from America's Got Talent. By the way, there was one segment in his intro where he's showing the coins and then he shows all these outlines of coins on paper. Smash like if you know what that is, if you recognize that. That's his Imagination Coins act, which he also performed on America's Got Talent. In fact, I made a reaction to it. You can check that out up here. It's also a really cool performance and worth watching. Proceeding.
Coming to us direct from China, here's Eric Chien.
Where is he? In China? He looks like he's in a hotel hallway. Oh, this is nice. I kind of feel like we're getting an HD version of this effect. Yeah, I kind of feel like I can see everything better than on America's Got Talent. So far, everything seems like his traditional routine. Man, he is so good. Even when he telegraphs what he's going to do ahead of time, he's so good at it that it fools your eyes. The funny thing about Eric's performance here is that he's doing so many amazing things. He's doing some things that require special props and gimmicks, things you wouldn't normally have around you, but a lot of it he's doing with actual sleight of hand. And he's just mixing it all together. And as soon as you've seen one amazing thing, he immediately does another amazing thing. He's just stacking them one on top of each other. Even if your brain was wanting to stop and try to rewind and figure out what happened, you can't. There's so much magic just bombarding you. Especially if you're watching it live, then eventually your brain just has to kind of submit and be like, okay, I'm watching magic, I'm being entertained. Continuing. I really like how we're getting like smooth, continuous shots also. I remember in AGT they were cutting away to the judges' faces quite a bit. Leonard Green, anyone? Looks so nice. It'd be funny if it started bleeding. Like, ow, that's sharp. Oh, that's really nice. Real nice. What if... put this over here, and this over here. So good. Now this part coming up right here. Yeah, that part gets me, and especially, let's see if he'll do it this time. Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Trick.
Since I've already reviewed this hack a couple times in previous reaction videos, I'll give you the remainder of my thoughts after we hear from Penn and Teller.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This routine that you just saw was actually the routine I used for the World Championship.
It felt like a whole story, a whole journey.
That's how I try to create magic, you know, not just, you know, me showing off. I like to have a story in my magic.
Oh, you were showing off a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit.
So tell me the story of that trick.
So that trick is basically talking about greed. Like, you know, we're born to be greedy, kind of, in a way. So, you know, I discovered this ribbon and this magical frames, and, you know, I decided to play with it, and I realized that it has magic powers, right? And then I decided to use that magic for, you know, to make money. And, you know, at the end, everything just vanished, and I'm left with nothing. And because greed takes over, and it destroys us, right?
And when you're coming up with the trick, do you think of the story first or the trick?
I clear my mind of all the magic that I already know, and I think of the story. And then I start piecing in what magic belongs in this story.
Oh, Eric, it's time to find out if Penn and Teller know how you did your trick. Penn,
all right.
Teller.
Hey, Eric, how you doing, man?
Hey.
I gotta tell you.
I'm good.
I gotta tell you, we feel that this kind of isn't fair. We try to be so fair on this show, and I believe you're in a huge disadvantage because we met you and we saw, we knew that you won FISM and we pay attention to that. We know that you also won like Asia's Got Talent or something too, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
Yeah, I would have been really surprised if Penn and Teller hadn't already seen Eric Chien. He's made such a big impact on the magic world. So yeah, I'm sure if this was the first time Penn and Teller ever saw this act, they would be fooled for sure, but let's see what's gonna happen.
we were emailing back and forth about this Eric guy. We were pulling up videos, we were watching it, and we were studying it. We were studying your style and studying your moves, and we emailed back and forth and said, you know, what's great about this guy is he does stage magic techniques with cards. He's got some new stuff, and the stuff he's got that's old, he also does better than anyone's ever done it. So we really became fans of yours, and we analyzed what you did. So for you to come on the show and try to fool us is like lead baseball bat. I mean, you really don't have a chance. And even with all the video stuff, you fooled us now. So it's really not fair that even when we know all this stuff, you still fool the out of us. How do you do that?
Wow.
How do you do it?
You fooled
You fooled us.
us.
And you didn't have a chance.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much.
Well, I'll
Wonderful.
gladly accept this on your behalf, and you'll get the trophy when you come here to Vegas, and you fooled Penn and Teller.
You're so great, Eric. So
Give
great.
it up for Eric
Thank you so much.
Chien.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yay. Penn and Teller have been outfoxed.
Alrighty, well, I'll go ahead and give you my concluding thoughts now. So first off, Eric Chien is, of course, an amazing magician, highly talented, a joy to watch perform. I think that's pretty obvious. Second thing, about him getting the Fool Us trophy, I guess you could argue from one side he didn't really fool them if they studied all his stuff before, especially if they've seen this exact routine before. But on the other hand, what's the definition of fooling? I mean, maybe they studied it a while ago and just watching him live right there were certain moments where they lost track and actually didn't remember how he was doing it. So by that definition, he did fool them, and completely fairly. And thirdly, let's be honest, he deserves the Fool Us trophy. Why should he be penalized for having performed on America's Got Talent and being widely publicized already? Fourthly, and perhaps more interestingly, is this version, as I mentioned earlier, seemed quite HD. And what I mean by that is that you can see a lot more details than you could see on the previous shows. I noticed at first when they showed him opening the box, you can really see more of the details of like how he keeps his stuff inside of there. And the reason I mention this, the reason I think this is significant, is because sometimes when magicians' performances get published online, the little imperfections or any inconsistencies get kind of polished out in the editing room. But I went ahead and rewound it and watched it again, and that did not happen here. So if you're one of those insanely curious people who cannot be satisfied with the performance alone, you can rewind it and look at things slowly and actually understand and get a concept for how he's performing some of this magic. Or you could just sit back, relax, and enjoy the entertainment and magical feeling from the performance. But I've just got to say, I really appreciate when videos like this are not perfect, when it gives you the choice. And fifthly or sixthly, since I can't remember what number we're on, I did change the background music during his performance. That's not his original music. There are essentially the equivalent of patent trolls on YouTube who will just be looking for any tidbit of music you use and either block or demonetize your entire video because of that. I apologize for changing the background music, but I just wanted to share you my reasoning why I did it. Oh, and seventhly, assuming that's the number we're on now, just because I say that I was able to see some of the stuff that Eric Chien was doing does not mean that I can do it myself anywhere near the skill level in which he's doing it. I'm definitely not making that claim. So I don't want this to seem at all like I'm attacking him or saying like, oh, that's easy. I definitely view him as one of the most talented magicians we have in this age. And what about you? What did you think? Had you seen Eric Chien perform before? If this was your first time seeing him, leave a comment below. I'm assuming because of AGT, everyone pretty much knows who he is already. And now, time for a quick Aesop's fable. Let's see what we can learn. This is chapter 86, The Shipwrecked Man and the Sea. A shipwrecked man cast up on the beach fell asleep after his struggle with the waves. When he woke up, he bitterly reproached the sea for its treachery in enticing men with its smooth and smiling surface. And then, when they were well embarked, turning in fury upon them and sending both ship and sailors to destruction. The sea arose in the form of a woman and replied, "Lay not the blame on me, O sailor, but on the winds. By nature I am as calm and safe as the land itself, but the winds fall upon me with their gusts and gales, and lash me into a fury that is not natural to me." No moral of the storyline. What are we supposed to interpret from that? Alright, don't place blame where it doesn't belong. Don't wrongly accuse people when maybe it's not their fault. If you see a dog that's acting aggressive and attacking you, maybe that's just the rabies talking. Okay, what can we say? Yeah, I think that's kind of the gist of it. Just be sure before you cast blame or hurl your reproachful comments that the target is actually guilty and is deserving of your criticism, let's say. Oh, I know I don't have anything smart to say. I wasn't using my pencil. Therefore, I'm kind of having trouble finding any human examples, because even if an employee was doing something bad to you, for example, and they said, hey, I'm just following orders, we know that I'm just following orders isn't always a great excuse. For example, World War II. See, I'm really trying to think how to apply this in the real world, not about animals, but about people. Because ultimately, people, individuals, are responsible for their actions, right? Trying to imagine a situation where a person could be the sea and the wind could be something else that's somehow not their fault. Blame not me for my failure to interpret this story in a more meaningful way. It's this faulty pencil. It's not making me intelligent enough. All right, that's all I got. If you can think of any examples, please leave them in the comments below. And thanks for being here. Thanks for watching this video with me. I'm working on a new magic trick that I want to share with you sometime in the near future. It's not quite ready yet, need a little more practice, but just know that I'm working on that. In between watching videos of new editing techniques. By the way, to those 5%ers who made it to the end of this video, what types of other videos would you like to see from me? I know I do a lot of reaction videos, but I'm just curious if you have any requests or ideas. I already have some ideas and some plans of what I'd like to do in 2021, but I'm curious. Maybe you'll have an idea I haven't thought of. And remember, if you want to learn how to do this yourself, you're only one tutorial away from being able to do it. I have this on my Magic Tutorials playlist. All you gotta do is watch it, have a deck of playing cards, and a little bit of time to practice. Because you can too. Alright, that's really it. I hope that you're having an amazing week, and I will see you in the next video. Adios.